Well, hey, everybody, welcome to the Seeing Ability Podcast, where we're having a conversation about the world of disabilities. And that means we're going to be talking to a whole lot of people. Sometimes it's an adult who was the kid who grew up with a disability. Sometimes it's parents who have or are raising kids. And a lot of times it's going to be individuals that support this community, whether it's in education, whether it's in healthcare, or whether it's one of the literally thousands of nonprofits around the country doing work in this space to focus on the ability in kids and not their challenges with their disabilities. First of all, we know you have a lot of choices with your free time. So thank you for tuning in, listening today. I think you're going to be impressed. We've got three lovely ladies with me today from Move Inclusive Dance down in Tennessee. Lauren is the executive director and founder. Lauren, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us. We're very excited to chat with you today.
Absolutely. And why don't you tell us about the two guests you have with you on sort of your Move panel today?
Yes, so I have Shakaya with me. She started out as a student of ours back in the early days before the studio even existed and we were just doing summer camps. Shakaya came to us and became one of our dancers and has pretty much filled like every role. She's danced with us in person, she's danced with us virtually, and now for the last 3 years, I believe, right? She has been a student intern with us through her school. So every Tuesday and Thursday for the last 3 years, Shakaya comes on site and we work together for her internship. So that's been really special. And then we also have her amazing mom, Suzette, here with us as well.
Fantastic. Great to have all of you here. So, this is one of our nonprofit spotlight episodes. We're going to be talking a lot about the organization. But first, we want to get to know you, ladies. People know that I have the Fast Four, which is a few personal questions just to get to know you outside of the world of disability advocacy. And the Fast Four is brought to us by our friends at Reliable Tech Help. So, if you want help in the technology world, they're at 502 797 7399. I'll start off with a fun one. Any of you three ladies or all of you, favorite food?
Shakaya.
I would say stuffed crust pizza.
Okay, stuffed crust pizza. I like that. Lauren?
Excellent. And that's a good, like, specific type of pizza. I also love a good pizza. I'm not much of a stuffed crust girly, but I love a pizza as well.
Okay, Suzette?
I'm gonna be totally different from them. I like salads. I like crunchy stuff. So
I
I,
do like a salad.
Okay, there you go. That might be a first on the podcast, a salad lover. Okay, if we were to get into your playlist, what kind of music would we find, Suzette?
strictly jazz.
Jazz. Okay, very good. Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how they do the Spotify Wrapped thing at the end of the year? Everybody loves to post. Mine, I could never post because it is anything from, I have two toddlers, anything from baby music to toddler music to worship music to studio music that we use for our classes, a lot of kids bop. Personally, I like Casey Musgraves radio is a big one for me on Spotify, but yeah, my playlist, they're all across the board.
Okay, I love it. And Shakaya, what about you? What's your music you listen to?
I also have a Spotify rap, but I would say I like vaporwave, 80s and 90s music.
Okay, fantastic. What about something you guys have been enjoying in the realm of like you've seen a good movie, you're reading a good book, you're watching a streaming show? We'll start with back to you, Shakaya. What are you watching these days or listening to?
Mm, that's a really good question. I've been getting into a lot of good things these days. Um, I would say I have been watching this cool movie called The Killer's Game recently. It's featuring
Okay.
Dave Bautista, and it was really like a really good movie.
Okay.
Okay. I love that. Lauren, how about you?
Any type of documentary, sign me up.
Okay. All about the documentary. Suzette?
I've been reading an excellent book, and I told Lauren about it, and I really hadn't been able to put it down. And so it's called Seeing Ability. I do. I am an avid reader, and I do like to read and things like that. And most of the time, I'm a Bible history person, so I love Bible history. So normally, I'm always looking at something or some on Netflix, The House of David, or
Mhm.
something like that. But I was given this book, and I just hadn't been able to put it down. I actually cried a little bit, and and so it's just been a really, really great read for me.
I'm so glad you were touched by it. I wrote it as the book that I wish we had when my daughter was born. So
Yeah.
that means a lot to me. So that's we'll say the check is in the mail for that shameless PR. I like that. I like that. Okay. So no, I'm glad you were touched. So if we could just have a limo pull up right outside and take you anywhere in the world, where would you want to be? What's a destination that you'd love to go to? We'll start with you, Shikai.
Um, you might want to like instead of taking me to like a limo, take me to an airplane. I would say I want to go to Scotland so badly.
Okay, Scotland. Very nice. Lauren?
I'll say Italy.
Italy, can't go wrong there.
I'll say Hawaii for me.
Hawaii,
Yeah,
you're on a beach somewhere,
yeah, Pineapples Beach, yeah.
and we know already you've got a good book to take with you on the beach,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely,
There we go.
absolutely.
All right. So people heard in the beginning, Move Inclusive Dance. So Lauren, just tell us briefly, what is this organization? How did you get involved with it? How did you decide to be a pioneer and start it?
Yes. So, Move Inclusive Dance, we are dance studios that are designed for people of all abilities. We have, all different types of diagnoses that we serve, from autism, Down syndrome, people that have, maybe just physical disabilities, intellectual disabilities, anything that you can possibly imagine. Our purpose is to offer the experience and the joy that a dance class can bring. It seems like something that may be really simple, and for me it was really simple. I grew up dancing, and I was able to easily join a dance class from the age of 3 on. That's all that I did. I was always at the dance studio, and it was something that really made an impact on me. And I always say, I know it's kind of cheesy, but it made me who I am. The whole experience
Mhm.
of having my dance teachers as mentors, and having a place where I could emotionally express myself and just learn about myself, and build confidence. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so I think I just saw this opportunity to use this gift that was given to me to better other people's lives. And I really don't know why the idea was given to me. I always say God just planted the seed. I was around 13 the first time I remember having this idea of a place like this. And I really just thought to myself, like, why isn't that already happening? Why doesn't that exist? But I never
Mm.
really thought I would pursue it. And, fast forward years and years later, I thought about it nonstop, but I would always just kind of push it to the side. And I finally said, if I don't just try this thing, I'm going to think about this for the rest of my life. And so I need to figure out a way that I can just test the idea. And if it goes great and I can turn it into something awesome. And if not, I can say, okay, I tried it, I can move on. And
Yeah.
so that was in 2018, and I decided to do a summer camp. So that's kind of how it all started. Now we have 2 studios here in the Nashville area. We have online classes that reach people across the U.S. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a really fun, awesome place.
Well, first of all, thank you, because I think there's a lot of people out there that might have an idea like that, and it always stays on the back burner. So it took a lot of courage to go for it, and you ladies are lucky that she did, right?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So you started in 2018. Tell us a little bit about, like you said, 2 locations now. What's kind of the footprint of what's going on during a typical month and or during a season for you
Yep.
guys?
So our flagship studio is here in Bellevue, which is like West Nashville.
Hmm.
We have classes almost every day of the week now, for all ages. So we see littles that take our parent-child class with their parent or caregiver, from under the age of 1. And then all the way up to our adult classes. There's no cap on the people that we serve. So right now, our oldest student is in their 60s, but we also have seen people beyond that age. We offer a variety of different dance styles for our classes. Pretty much anything you can imagine, we have either played around with it or we offer it on a regular basis. But in addition to our classes that we offer at this studio and our studio that's in Franklin now, we also do community outreach, where we go out
Mm.
into the community and we partner with other nonprofits that serve people with disabilities or underserved groups, schools, even memory care facilities, and we bring our dance classes to the people that they serve. And so that allows us to really widen our reach And so, yeah, what started out as this little tiny studio here in Bellevue and me just like desperately trying to get people to come try a class has now really grown into something much bigger and is serving people across the Middle Tennessee area.
Wow. And we'll talk about this later, but people are probably thinking, hey, I need to look this place up. What's your website and things?
Yes, it's moveinclusivedance.com, and all of our social media handles are the same, Move Inclusive Dance.
Now, Shakai, I want to ask you, we heard from Lauren, you've been around the place for a while, actually now being an intern. Take us back to when you first connected with them. What was it like coming to the studio then, and how have you seen yourself grow over the years from being a part of it?
Well, I remember heading to the dance camp around this, I think 2018, I believe. 2018. Again, I felt like a fish out of water. I felt like I didn't knew anybody, but after
Hmm.
seeing Lauren and Megan guiding me through this fun camp filled with so many lovely people, I felt like I was well fitting in well. My mom saw Lauren for the first time and she was very, very happy to see me dance for the very first time. And then throughout 2020 and building on so on and so forth, I've been participating in the virtual classes during the pandemic. And then now me as a student intern helping out Lauren with fun ideas, I feel like it's gonna be a new chapter or a new era for Move coming up in the next coming years.
Wow, that's exciting. And how have you seen it really change you? I mean, what has happened for you from being a part of it?
Well, I feel like I'm part of the Move community, being part of their social media. You might see me as the student intern, helping out Lauren, being a little goofball on there. And just helping out around like fun around the fun recitals. You might see me in one of the recorded dance recitals from this year, which already happened, which may I say was a success for dance recitals. So you might
Yes.
see me perform maybe next year for the next recital.
Yes, and I'll add
I
on to
love
that.
that.
Kaya,
Yeah.
as we've mentioned already, she's worn a lot of hats here at Move. She's certainly a big part of the community, and I consider us to be a family here. So she's a big part of our family, and people get very excited whenever I post about her on social media and the different things we're working on. So we have done some goofy videos together, which I love that you said. But I have also loved seeing, and Suzette and I talked about this. I feel like last year was the first year where, you know. Shakaya, sometimes we'll be working on a project here, like just the two of us. And, it'll be going good, whatever. But then once it's like go time and there's people here and the time to like present whatever the project is, or once she gets on stage in front of an audience or gives a presentation, it's amazing to see. She just like this light that comes out of her and this confidence that she brings. And so it's been really fun to see you just grow in that way over the years and continue to just mature. And I don't know, it's really cool.
I love
What do you
that.
think,
And
what do you
mom,
think, Mom, for introducing me to you?
Yes,
Introducing me to the dance camp that you made.
absolutely.
absolutely. So mom, what about you? Watching Shakaya over the years, how have you seen it's changed her being a part of the program?
Oh, wow. Um, I'm almost speechless. I promise I'm not gonna cry. Okay, I promise. I told her I'm not.
Crying is totally allowed here. There's no
It's
judgment
acceptable. I
zone.
read it in the book. It is acceptable.
It is, yeah.
When Shakaya first started, I remember Shakaya being diagnosed with autism, and I remember Shakaya, she couldn't even go to the bathroom and or flush the bathroom, with the noise. I remember being at church and we could not sit in church because of the sound or just the movement of the people there.
Mm,
And once we got to move and I got a chance to see all these the spectrum of all these different people that were there, it actually helped me to take my mind off of what my child was dealing with and to say, well, hey, here's a great community that is going to be rewarding and is going to be acceptable for all types of people. And so I've seen Shakaya grow from not being able to sit into venues and different avenues and places that we've gone to where now she can actually sit and be on stage in front of large crowds of people. She can deal with noise now. And so being here with Move has taught her all types of personal skill, interpersonal skills, social skills, behavioral skills, how to be able to deal collectively with the community and just groups of people in general as um, smaller from small kids to young adults, even to adults. And so her being here with Move and starting out kind of like her and Lauren's life kind of like intersect because Shakai is a ballet dancer. And so she's been dancing since about second grade. And so
Mhm.
it has helped her and enhanced her as she continues to be a dancer, a ballet dancer, and watching Lauren and hearing her story, it has actually guided and navigated Shakaya into the area of pursuing college. Not just pursuing college, but to go into an area that kind of mimics and kind of looks like some of the things that she have experienced here at Move. And she's thinking about going into music therapy.
Wow. I can't imagine how much one of our listeners who's maybe got a child a lot younger than Shakaya, hearing your story, how much that would inspire them. So thank you for sharing that. I can just kind of see it and feel it, how much it means to you to have her have a place where she feels accepted and where she belongs and is part of the community. I want to ask you a little bit about building that community, but first, we're going to take a short break. When you have a kid who is different, all your ducks need to be in a row, especially your money. Cam Howell with Primerica knows the joys and challenges as he and his wife raise their medically fragile son Brooks. Cam brings over 14 years of experience to help his clients be protected, have a plan for the future, reduce debt, and connect to resources. Get your financial house in order so that you can enjoy every moment with your child. Reach out today at 502 803 5075. And now back to the show. Okay, I wanted to talk to you, Suzette, about this idea when you mentioned the diagnosis, you mentioned some of the challenges. I think a lot of parents are overwhelmed by challenges in the beginning of their journey and the importance of kind of building your village and finding that support and what that was like for you, and also what advice you'd have to other parents who are maybe earlier in the journey, earlier in the diagnosis, why building that village is so important.
I think starting out when, like so many other parents, you get a diagnosis and you're just in shock
Mm,
at that moment and at that time. You really don't know, well, I didn't know which direction, where to go, who to reach for. Um, I didn't really know what to do. And I think it's so important that even if you don't go to some of these community outreaches and resources that are available, uh, social media has made it become so much more possible for us to be able to have access to so this plethora of resources that are available to us. And I know as parents starting out, being given a diagnosis or you get the diagnosis, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to reach out. You really want somebody to come and literally bring it to you or say, hey, have
mhm.
you heard about this? But because of the media that we have, I would just encourage all parents to just, uh, we have access now. You can just put in your child's diagnosis and things will just pop up
Mhm.
and just start there. The hardest thing is the initial start. That's the hardest thing there. And once you initially get a resource and just, even if you don't do anything, but just investigate it, click on it and read about it, that's a first step. And so that's what I would encourage parents, loved ones, family, and friends uh, of anyone that has someone in their family that's dealing with some type of an illness or a disability. Don't be afraid to initially reach out. I mean, I got on the phone and called the mayor's office. I didn't
Mm,
know what I didn't know why I was calling, but but I had a question and I wanted to know that I had him to know, the office to know that I had a kid that was diagnosed, and I told them the diagnosis, and I wanted to know what did they have available
yeah.
that they could share. And so, I would tell them, don't be afraid. No, there is no one that you shouldn't feel like that you can't reach out. Don't avoid things that you feel that um, it's not conducive to what you need. Like I said, I called the mayor's office and they, they gave me some resources. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, Lauren, you've been around a lot of families and being around this community. And like you said, having such a variety of diagnoses, what are your thoughts that you've seen over the years about how important that building village piece is for families?
Yes. So, we actually recently talked about this, wanting to give more opportunities for our families to just connect with each other to share those resources because
Mhm.
with us seeing such a wide range of not only abilities, but also ages, we truly see it all, like from every corner and area of, of life. So we have, families that are early on in their diagnosis, or maybe they don't even have one yet, but they know something is coming. They're trying to get some answers. We have parents that are, really seasoned in this whole field, and they know all the resources and all the things that are out there, and they want to help other families that, maybe are new to this. We have people that are towards the end of it where they're figuring out, okay, what do I do, next for my child, my adult
Mhm.
child, whenever I'm no longer here to help with them. And so making sure that we create these opportunities for our families to just connect with each other and have these conversations and share what they might know or what they don't with each other is really important to me. And I think the deeper that I get into this work and the more experience that I have and the more families that I connect with, that's the main thing. I am finding that my passion really lies with creating this like holistic experience for the families. Yes, we
Mm.
are here to provide this service to our dancers, and that's obviously always going to be, at the center of it all, providing these dance classes for our students. But it's so much more than that. And I want to make sure that we're catering not only to the families and the caregivers, but also the siblings. I've connected
Mm.
with a lot of siblings over the years that either are adults now or children that come to class with their sibling and have
Right.
seen how it impacts them, having a brother or a sister that has these challenges that they may not face. And so, yeah, that's something that's definitely really important to me.
I love that. I'm always interested to talk about the topic of how do you set the right level of expectations for kids, kind of setting the bar. And I think you have the extremes of like that helicopter parent that is never wanting their kid to like face any challenges, all the way to the parent who's kind of like throw them in the deep end, right? And then you throw into that mix a child who has extra challenges, and sometimes there can be a tendency for either the parent or the relatives to kind of be maybe a little overprotective. We don't want to, or to maybe inadvertently kind of set limits on what's possible for kids. Suzette, I'd love for you to talk about how that journey of setting the right level of expectations for what was possible early on for Shakaya, how that's been like for you. And again, what advice do you have to parents that are kind of wrestling with that?
I'm going to draw from your book, and it says that all kids have dreams, and
Mm.
we may not be able to, or they may not be able to communicate it, but all, like, just like adults, we all have dreams. And I think for my family with Shakaya, there were great expectations, but they weren't great expectations where there was pressure. I
Mm.
felt like that with the condition that she had, I felt like with the proper resources and getting the proper care, that I could allow her to be who she really wanted to be or whatever it was that she wanted to do. And so when I say the expectation or the bar was set high, it was just for her to be able to be and do all that she could do, that well that she had the capability of doing. And so one of the
Mm.
things that we did was, again, we put her in ballet, but we never told them in ballet that she had any condition.
Okay.
So she just went right in, and
Yeah.
she was a dancer, and they had an upcoming where the dancers would audition for what we have here in Nashville. It's called the Nutcracker here, and it's
Hmm.
seasonal. And so the students were allowed to audition. Well, we did not tell them, and never have we told them that Shakaya has a condition. And I just talked to her and things and stuff like that, and told her to go in, listen, do what they ask you to do. And that was the beginning for her. Was she got her first audition to be on stage. Now this is and I think going back to that, what helped prepare her for that is that being part of Move as well. So she was
Hmm.
already doing some things. And of course, I didn't know with doing those things, it was preparing her for where we were headed. And so I would say, as parents who have kids or have adults or people in your life, let them be who they are. Don't limit them. Let the expectation be of allowing them to be all that they can be. Allow them to go and allow them to try and in a nutshell, allow them to fail at it.
Hmm.
Let them
Hmm.
try things that they may advance in, and there's certain things that they may not. But they'll if you don't allow them to do it, they'll never get the opportunity to be able to know whether they could or they could not do. And that's how we do things with Shakaya. She is involved in quite a number of things. And we put her in those things to find out what she has the capability of doing and maybe what she has challenges in doing. And we work from that. And so being here at Move has done just that thing. Lauren has been able to be so influential in her life. She has just taken her to like fish out of water. She just puts her in there. She don't ask.
Hmm.
She doesn't say. Sometimes I'm just surprised. I saw her on stage for the first time, and I was like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was my kid that was up there. And so
Yeah.
that's why Move is such a great place. Uh, and being connected with a program that's in our community like this, it allows you to or allows your kids to defy the odds of not being able to have realistic expectations. So that's what I want her
Mm.
to have. We don't have unrealistic expectation. Nothing is off the table. We try it and then we find out if it's something that she doesn't like or something that, is going to be more challenging and cause more of an issue, then we just pull back from that and then we try something different. It's how we
Yeah.
do.
So much to unpack from that. I mean, so many great things. I probably needed to take notes on all that, but it was like, not setting limits for her. I love that. And then the idea that like we learn through trial and we learn by failing, right? And if you
Yeah.
don't ever let kids try or don't ever let them fail at something, if you have a quote typically abled kid, they're going to learn through failure. But sometimes the tendency is with a kid with a lot of extra challenges, we want to take away their ability to fail, because they already face a lot of hardships. So, Lauren, you've probably seen that act out with all the kids and parents you've served over the years. What advice would you give to parents on that, like where to set the bar, how to let them not have limits, how to let them try things, and that you learn through failing, and it's okay even for a kid with a disability to fail.
Yeah, I think it's tough, because as a parent, you only want in any situation, in any scenario, you just want everything to be perfect for your child. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's good to hear Suzette say that because that is something that I kind of pride our teaching team on here, and something that we talk about often is, you know, our students surprise us every day, and we do go in with this mindset of, hey, they can do hard things and we're going to give them the opportunity to try hard things. I also love highlighting anytime we do something in class that is a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
something that I may do and they look and they're like, whoa, I could never do that. And I'm like, no, let me show you how and let's try it. It's supposed to be hard. And if you
Right.
fall out of it, that's okay. We get back up. So yeah, that's something that we definitely talk about with our teachers on a regular basis is just making sure that we're constantly challenging our students in a way that's safe for them and makes sense for them, right? Because again, that transcends out of the studio, and that is the ultimate goal. Is that
Right.
these people come here, and if anyone comes in and they have this really natural ability for movement, and they decide they want to pursue a career in movement in some way, that's super exciting, and we're going to pour into that student. But at the end of the day, we are here to help them live their best lives outside of the studio. So I think
Mhm.
that's a big part of it for sure.
So Shakai, as a student intern, what are some of the fun things you're working on?
Planning our recitals, planning on our fun runs or 5Ks, merchandise, making fun videos on social media, and just going out with Lauren and going out into the community with Lauren.
Yes, we're doing some crafts for donors as well. Shakaya always helps me because we are a nonprofit. So we try to, throughout the year, just show our donors love in different ways. And so sometimes she helps me with writing cards to people. Right now, we're working on a little handmade like keychain that they can put on their key ring and think about our students at Move. So we're always
I
working.
love that. So people are probably thinking, I want to see some of her acting, quote, goofy in some of these videos. Tell us again, where do we find you on social media,
Yes.
your website?
Yes. So any of our social media handles, we are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube at Move Inclusive Dance. And then our website is moveinclusivedance.com.
So speaking of the organization, talk to us a little bit about what some of your biggest wishes are. Like where's the gap between where you are today and where you'd like to be in the future? And where are you looking for community support, time, talent, treasure to get involved with helping you reach that gap?
Definitely. So as a nonprofit, we are always in need of support. I mentioned, that we opened our second location just about a year ago now. So we have two studios, but we're also doing this community outreach where we're going out into the community. And so we have a lot that's going on. We do the recitals, we do a 5K in the spring. So there's tons of ways that people can get plugged in and show support for us. The first and obvious one is donations. Those can go to things like scholarships for students, but also just being able to sustain this growth that we're
Mhm.
seeing to support our team because it takes, a lot of really strong, educated people to make sure that we can serve our students and our families the best that we can. So donations can be made on our website at moveinclusivedance.com, but you can also click the Get Involved tab there and fill in just a super quick form. And from there, our program director, Maddie, will reach out to see what kind of time you might be or talent looking to give. We have tons of volunteer opportunities. You don't have to have any dance experience. If you want to do things behind the scenes, we have opportunities for that. But some people, they want to be in the action. And so we have some really hands-on roles that people can have. One that I'll mention is our Dance Buddy program. So like we've discussed, we have, all different types of people that come to our classes. Some people are able to join a class with no additional support and they are able to participate independently and, do what they need to do. But then we have lots of other students that need a little more support to be able to participate in that group setting. So in that case, we assign them with what we call a dance buddy. And the dance buddies are people that volunteer at the same time every single week to work with that individual student. And they do whatever they need to make it possible for them to attend that class. And it's so incredible to see the relationships that come out of those dance buddies. They celebrate tons of different milestones together in life, birthdays, and, different things that again outside of the studio that are happening. And so that is something that we're always looking for more people to join that program because again that just allows us to continue expanding our reach and making sure that our program is truly accessible to anyone who wants to experience the joy of dance.
I love that. Shakai, I've got a question for you. If we're talking to a parent who has a young child, so maybe like under 5 years old, but they've gotten some kind of diagnosis, it could be Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, autism, you name it, and they're a little focused on like, what's life going to be like for my child? I'm a little worried about the future. What advice would you have for a parent on how they can successfully raise their child?
Don't act scared. Try to get your child into some fun interests. Like show them a cartoon that you like. Show them their favorite toys. Show them fun places like here and here at Move or a fun like sensory room that can be perfect for them.
Mhm.
Again, just don't act nervous on the child. Don't like helicopter parent over them. Just let them run be in their own little world.
I love that. Suzette, what about you? What advice would you give?
I probably would piggyback off of what Shakaya is saying is This is such a wonderful and great opportunity. It's a great time. I mean, you will change. I mean, you may see it in from one perspective that, my child and, the diagnosis and things and stuff like that. But I would tell them it's going to open up a total new world that you never thought even existed. If Shakaya had not had a diagnosis at an early age, I would probably not know anything about this world and community that I am a part of now. And I would tell any parent is once you get the diagnosis, the initial shock, take a moment, you get the shock, take a moment, cry for a moment if you need to, but it's just only for a moment. And then get up and start walking. Start the process, start walking, start looking, start checking, and get connected. And I hope people in different places that watch this podcast, I hope that they have wonderful organizations like we are so blessed to have here in Nashville, Tennessee. I just hope and pray that there are other cities that have something in their community of this type of caliber. Um, to
I
be
love
able
it.
to see it in action, you'd have to go to the website. It's not just, she's mildly put it, but to see these dancers come out like they are on Broadway. I'm not
Yeah.
just talking about just coming out dancing. We're talking about looking at young people and adults alike doing a show for over an hour with different songs being choreographed. And these students and these children and these adults are doing it. So, I thought it was going to be a sad journey for me. I thought it was going to be, something that I didn't know what to expect, you know, but it has defied the odds and my expectations have just soared, and there is no expectation or there is no goal or there is nothing that Shakaya cannot conquer. Now that we're in this community, it's like the brakes have, I've taken my foot off the brakes. I have unloosened the straps. So that's what I would tell parents to do. Get ready, get set, and let's go.
I love it. Well, it's hard to top that. So we'll wrap up there. I feel like I could talk to you ladies for another hour, but we do keep our episodes brief. I know that as a listener, you've got a lot of choices, like I said. So thanks for tuning in today. You probably know other nonprofits all around the United States that are doing great work. Please reach out to me. These are the folks that I like to spotlight. We're doing 2 episodes a month. One is a nonprofit, but you also probably know great people, young adults like Shakaya, great parents like Suzette that you want to refer me to so I could have them come and share their story. So we're looking for future podcast guests. Share the podcast. My goal for this podcast was education, number one. I know you've learned something today. Inspiration. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fired up after this episode. But I also want this podcast to be part of a family's community, another part of their village, if you will. So we want to get the word out about this podcast. Go to the Facebook page, Seeing Ability Podcast Facebook page, and like it, follow it, and share it with other people so we can get the word out. That's how we help families navigate this journey. Ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And then one more time, Lauren, website.
MoveInclusivedDance.com.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll see everybody next time.